Hello, welcome to the Corner Bird live stream. I know I've been away for a really long time. I'm really sorry about that. For anyone new to my small channel in the corner, welcome back. I have no words to say on why I haven't been live streaming or putting up any content in a really long time. Let's just say that I kind of relapsed in some sense, where I just feel like my overthinking habits got the better of me. And I thought that I was getting better because I was working pretty well and I was working quite hard on my previous sculpt project, which was the Elden Ring Nomad Sculpt. But when I finished it, I just felt really drained. And yeah, I just kept overthinking, which is a really bad habit for me. But I realized that it's kind of like pretty unrealistic, or I guess it's kind of being too harsh on myself to expect that I will change overnight. So I guess I finally got my shit together, and I guess just feel like I am trying to be kinder to myself, that I am bouncing back a lot faster now compared to last time. Anyway, while I was procrastinating, I was doing this on the side, and I was thinking that I kind of got to a good point where I just want to live stream my work in progress. And to anyone who drop in the stream or are interested in seeing how I sculpt and all that, I hope that you have a good time. And I'll try to have a good time too. And I'm gonna type it into the chat box. Although, yeah, I guess because my channel is quite small, so I kind of feel like I can't really reach out to a lot of people. But if you happen to click by my channel, or this live stream I mean, and if you have any questions that you want to ask, I'll be very happy to help. Like if you have any questions regarding, I guess, 3D, Nomad Sculpt, don't ask me about color, please. Then I'll be very happy to help, or like give any advice or guidance, because I feel like I think I've reached a point where I'm pretty comfortable with Nomad Sculpt or with sculpting. I hope. I mean, honestly, I'm not really that confident, but I think this year I want to try and like not really fake confidence, but I guess I just want to give back to the community. And I feel like this is sculpting is kind of the only thing that I should probably know how to help people out with. So let's struggle together. I'm gonna listen to some music. It's been a while since I live streamed. Well, I guess I live streamed a few days ago, but it's been a while since I've spoken to a mic, and I feel quite drained. Feeling quite drained. It's so annoying. I'm gonna listen to them. My boyfriend recommended them to me. I should subscribe. And yeah, I kind of feel like listening to them right now. I think I'll probably, because it's pretty late, I think I'll probably not live stream that long. But I guess there's been some updates since my last live stream. Oh, the live streams last year. That I kind of feel like maybe I'll share it to those who have been dropping by my live streams for a while. And you notice, oops, I have a new iPad. I have the iPad M4 finally. I'm really gonna miss my old iPad though. So like last year I was working on this. So I guess one of the updates for this channel is that, what's the update? Well, when I was working on this, I kind of like gave myself a challenge to not to only play Elden Ring DLC when I finished this. So I finally played Elden Ring. Wait, why is there some stuff missing? So I finally played the Elden Ring DLC, and I'm so happy that I sculpted Masma, because he's like my favorite character right now. I guess I like his moveset. I really like his, I just like his look. And it was a really cool feeling, because I sculpted this based on the trailer shots. So I didn't play the DLC at all, and I was trying to avoid every single spoiler from the DLC until I finished this. And I was, yeah, when I stepped into, and I didn't expect to kind of like bump into Masma so early on, probably because I went into the castle quite early, and yeah, I didn't expect to see him above the library storeroom. It was quite unexpected. But when the cutscene started, I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, Masma is here! I can finally see Masma again. Yeah, anyway, it was a really new experience, because I haven't done a fan sculpt before. And it's kind of weird that I did a fan sculpt on a character that I have not seen in the game. So anyway, when I bumped into Masma, I was just like trying to dodge his crazy movesets, but also trying to look at everything. It was a really cool fight. But I guess one of the things that I forgot, that I didn't realize, because I've only realized after beating Masma, is that he has this he has his logo here, this, so his emblem is here on his cape, and I didn't know. I didn't put the emblem on the cape. I guess that's fine. I feel like now in live streaming with the mic, I feel like a lot of words are coming out because a lot of memories are coming in. And my stupid fringes. I'm being so poofy right now. But yeah, so I was working on, that was the iPad, that was 2015 iPad Pro, which is the first iPad Pro that's released. And it worked really well. It's just that when, let me see, was it fine showing paintings? Like when you went into the lit PBR mode, so like using that iPad is completely good enough to make a decent sculpt. But one of the things that I realized, which was also some of the things that I realized, which was also the reason why I decided to invest in getting the latest iPad, is that when I go into the lit PBR mode, oh, let me see. This one is 9. Is it 9 million? I guess it's not so. I guess it's like it's a bit laggy when it reached around like 16, I think. And like there's only 2 gigs of RAM. I mean less than 2 gigs of RAM. So there were quite a few times when after sculpting for a while, I'll need to restart the app because that's the only way I know how to clear cache. But anyway, there was a bunch of stuff that was going on that would cause the maybe I should just that would cause like the iPad to heat up like crazy. Literally embracing Maximus flame because the iPad will get really, really hot. And I guess at some point I was thinking that it's really not good for the battery to become so hot. Oh, and the other thing is that the battery will drains faster than it's charging. So like thinking about a few things, I decided after finishing that sculpt that I guess I probably deserve to get a new iPad. Anyway, I think enough of everything of that. So I got a new iPad and it's been working really well. I don't have a screen protector because I don't really like that kind of stuff. Like I feel like when you get a Paperlike screen protector, it kind of creates a lot of like I'm not really sure how to explain, but I'll see like a lot of dots and it kind of drives me a bit nuts. So no screen protector, and I usually use like a cheap glove that I cut, like I snipped this off. So I usually use this glove to do like a palm rejection. And then this is to create a comfortable grip. Oh, and like one cool thing about having the new iPad with the newest Apple Pencil, like I guess it's a bit annoying that I need to get a new Apple Pencil for a new iPad because I have the Gen 2 Apple Pencil, but I think it's, oh my god, I think so far it's been pretty cool because with this one, so I'm going to, with this one, I can do a barrel motion, barrel, like that. So I don't think you can do this with the previous Apple Pencil Gen 2. Gee, that looks nice. I'm gonna keep that. And the other thing is the squeezing. So now squeezing is set to paint for me. And why is it? I think something that I have to figure out is that with this new tandem OLED screen, there's some, is it called bending happening? And you figure out how to get rid of that. But I'll figure it out next time. So another cool thing with the new iPad, because I got the one with the most RAM, that now everything is faster and my iPad is not burning up like crazy. So I tried painting my sculpt for the first time. I think with the previous sculpt, I didn't really dare to paint on it because, yeah, I'm not really sure whether or not it's because it was lagging or because, yeah, I'm not really sure. But anyway, this is the first time that I'm painting on a sculpt. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so I noticed that I do swap between sculpting and painting quite a bit now. So it's really nice to put a shortcut key for paint and then command squeeze. I set it to eyedropping like that, so it's eyedropping, and then alt squeeze is smudge. So I use this tool quite a lot when I'm painting. Yeah, other than that, I think there's nothing much. It's just about sculpting. I'm working on the skirt now. Not really sure whether I want these to be here. So I think other than the side profile of a face, I think most of it was just I was just doing a freestyle sculpting with no reference. Yes, a bit. Just to get my mind off a lot of things and just to have fun. So that's what this is about. I like to do very pretty looking, very delicate looking things. And I really like plants. So you probably see that a lot in my future stuff and also in this one. But I think in this particular sculpt, I'm kind of working on things that I feel I want to try out. So like, let's say, and like with the iPad Pro, the 2015 version, if I turn this on, the battery drains like 50% per minute or something. It's like kind of crazy. Whereas with this one, I think I can just keep it plugged in and charged, and I can just keep sculpting like with this post-processing on. But it's a bit distracting, so I think, yeah. So like I was trying out a bunch of stuff for the first time. So like, oh my god, what did I do? Why? It's trying. I'm not really sure whether I want to deactivate. Maybe I should deactivate. Yeah, I was trying, because my previous live stream I didn't have audio on, so I couldn't really explain what was going on. But I was trying different stuff. But most importantly, I was trying out to sculpt without symmetry on. So in my first two sculpts, I feel like I kind of over relied on symmetry, which is good for like things like the torso or the base sculpt for the arms, or like this. The symmetry is still on. But I feel like when it comes to things like hair, when I sculpt with symmetry, I kind of like get stuck with center parting hairstyles. So that was something that I tried to break away from with this. So that's kind of like one of the things that I wanted to try, and it worked out well. And then other things would be kind of like just removing symmetry for a lot of these things, like this, something like this too. I did symmetry for the base shape, but after a while I was like, I need to disable it and try and make things look more organic. So that's how it is. I think with the skirt too, like I was trying to like, if I just so in the past I would do this. I'll kind of like do that. And then after I'm done with the base shape, I'll be like, okay, then I'll switch this off. And then I'll start moving things around. But so with this skirt, it was kind of the first time where, let me undo this. It's kind of the first time where I don't have symmetry on, and then I'm just pushing stuff around, which felt a bit scary at first, but what's this? Oh, my outliner is a mess, but I'll deal with it next time. It's kind of let's see, it feels very different working with symmetry, or like working with, I guess in some sense, like only working on half of your sculpt versus working on everything else. Because with symmetry, I think let's say with this one, when I have symmetry on, when I'm sculpting here, it will reflect on that, right? So because of that, technically I'm just sculpting on, technically I'm just sculpting on, oh, I need to turn something off. I'm sculpting only on half of the object, whereas if I don't use symmetry, I'll be sculpting everything from scratch. So there was a bit of like, kind of a little bit of a challenge and the learning curve, and I'm not really done with the back yet. I kind of just started with the front. Yeah, still have quite a bit to go. I think I need to change back to yeah, I'll also type it in the chat in case it's missed. But let me see. I also hope that the audio is fine. I think the audio should be, this audio should be good. I just typed it in there because I think this year I want to try to keep the chat, the live chat open, and try to like keep up with it if there are any questions. So if you have any questions regarding what I'm doing or anything. Oh my god, it's getting late. Yeah, feel free to ask and I will try to help the best as I can. And I feel like I promised some people that I'll be doing a tutorial, but honestly it's really scary for me right now. So I don't really know when the tutorial is coming out. But something like this is pretty chill and kind of like acceptable within my means. I need to turn this off. That's the mess. Figure it out next time. What do you want to do? Also, in some sense, I feel like because of my OCPD nature, or like perfectionism, that I feel like when I did like some self-reflection, quite a big, what's that, reason, is there a reason? Like a big reason that I'm quite slow at my work is that I kind of like try to be perfect with everything. But anyway, with this, I'm trying to be less perfect. If you get what I mean. No, I don't even get what I mean. So one of the first steps to do that is to, I guess, try to duplicate more things. So there are these 3 flowers right here, and these, and everything else duplicated from these bunch. And I feel like it's pretty hard to, I think it's like pretty hard to tell that they are duplicated. I think so. Yeah, I'm slowly learning ways to kind of like cut down on my sculpting time, but I want to do this by hand, so that's something that I want to do. I want to listen to music too. I'm not really sure whether I can talk while listening to music, but songs are going to be quite chill. I haven't really listened to. Maybe I'll try. I guess I'll try this. Yeah, I'm not really sure whether I can explain what I'm doing. Can you stay up here? This might be a bit. Yeah, I'm not really sure whether I can explain the thought process behind sculpting this. I realized that one of the things that gives me more confidence in what I'm sculpting is to put down some colors or materials like this. So I was feeling a bit unsure about this, I guess. So I started painting on them to see whether things are working out, and I think they're working out. So it means that I'm on the right track. Not sure whether I want to keep it on though. Should I switch it off? It's a bit distracting. Just like giving a brief overview. I kind of always sculpt with dynamic topology. So I have a key press for that. And a cool thing is that you can drag out this dynamic topology window around. So I think I kind of like to just leave it here. I think that's the key that I use for, I need to remember what it was. Also with the most recent Nomad Sculpt update, where is it? The binding system got like even better. So there's a bunch of stuff that I was thinking that, oh yeah, it would be cool if I have shortcut keys. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. Where is... Also, when I was working on the Nomad Sculpt, the X-ray was quite weird, where it was an additive thing. Let me see, is this what? No, this wireframe. But now X-ray is pretty decent. If you've used the older version of Nomad Sculpt, you get what I mean. But yeah, so there's some key presses that, some shortcut keys that I put. But I'm trying to find, oh yeah, this one. Yeah, it's really cool. Like you can short key map a turntable like this. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna switch these off because they're kind of distracting right now. This one, not really sure. Should I just keep it there? I think something that I think about when I'm sculpting this skirt is that I want it to feel light and fluffy. Like right now it's like this. And I feel like the way to do that is to make the edges thin. And I mean, this is just like me hypothesizing what is light and fluffy for cloth. So something like this, it feels really thick, and I'm just going to kind of like just sharpen the edge a bit. I also have a key press for solo. I think the only key press is missing is this one. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I can't set this as a key press, because I was using that a lot when I was sculpting Masper. Yes, so I'm just gonna make this. Oh, and I'm using this matte cap. It's pretty nice. I think for a while I was using this one. Actually, maybe this might be good. Maybe this one is... Maybe it's easier to see with this. Yeah, maybe it's easier to look at the shadows like this. I'm not really going to focus on this part too much for now. It feels really nice to just live stream and talk about stuff again. I feel like I'm always missing this kind of stuff in my life. I guess that's the beauty in live streaming, right? You can just do whatever you want. So I'm going to feel like I want to explain how I'm sculpting right now, but then I feel like there's too much to go on. I like to I feel like it's breaking the flow a bit. So I don't really want to have like this very uniform shape right here, but at the same time I don't want to break the flow of it. So the way that I try to experiment with things is push things around and see like, oh, it's not working out. If it feels too static like this, I think. So maybe I'll try the opposite direction and also just turn around, look at stuff. I think through live streaming last year, I realized that I do enjoy helping people out, or like just being around a community of people who like to make art, I guess. But I also like to help people out with things that they're struggling with when it comes to things that I can help out with, I guess. Or I guess things that I have interest in. So hopefully when I can get more consistent with my live streaming, that I'll be able to reach out to more people and help with whatever 3D problems that you guys have. Yeah, so like one of the troubles that I've been going through with this one, I feel like you can't really stand still. I feel like with the front it was pretty straightforward. It just goes downward and goes around the leg. And because I'm not using any reference, like try to use reference, but oh my god, I'm just like too lazy to use reference right now. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, I've been really liking just twisting things around with the drag tool. It feels like when you're using Procreate or Photoshop and you're liquefying things, but this liquefying is in 3D space. It feels really cool. I just like Nomad Sculpt was the shit. It's the best. I feel like such a eternal fangirl of Nomad Sculpt. I'm just in my own world right here, fangirling about software. Okay. So one of the things that I like to do when I feel like this is too, I feel like there's too many possibilities with this, and when I feel like there's too many possibilities, I feel very stuck. So something that I like to do is to look at places where there are more restrictions or more rules that needs to be applied to them. So something like this, I would consider it as something with more rules. It's no. So like this edge right here, I can work on it first because I know that it has to be stuck to this point. I mean, it's skirt. So the thing with the skirt is it's kind of like that, like this, and then it goes that way. So the base shape is pretty much settled. It's pretty much settled, but can it go more extreme? Yeah, I think that's nice. And from here, I'm not really sure whether I'm just like really weird, but it feels pretty fun to just talk about what I'm thinking about and all that. So from here, I'm looking at this area right now, and I'm like, it feels a bit too bloated. So I'm gonna I'll narrow this bloated look. And something else that I don't really like to do is let me see if this works. So I screenshot this. I'm always using like shitty colors. So you can see this. I am always paying attention to the length of this. So I don't want A, B, and C to be similar widths, because that would just kind of like makes the silhouette boring. So yeah, you see, like I'm starting to build a couple of rules for myself. Like, oh, this can't be like this, that can't be like this. And that's usually how I work around figuring out like what I want to do for certain things. So I think this doesn't really look. Somehow this kind of reminds me of Godskin Apostles. Okay, so I just work on this. So it's going like that. I do feel like I'm working a bit slower because I am talking, and I'm really completely not used to talking while doing my work. But I think it is something that I can practice and get better at. I think for this part, I'm not really sure whether I want to keep it. I guess I'll probably keep this curve right here. Like that. I'll keep this like a little bump here. Let me close this. Another rule that I like to follow is whenever I see a straight line, then I'm just going to create a curve, like a side curve to it. Something like this. This is a straight line. I need to check whether her legs are eating. Oh my god, what the hell happened here? My anatomy knowledge is quite shit, but I'll just try to make it as correct looking as possible, because it's going to be hidden anyway. All these things are okay. Where was it? Okay. Sometimes too, when there are things underneath, I tend to make them a bit narrower, so that, like, let's say if I want to push this like this, then it doesn't really show as much. Even though I like to use the barrel roll a lot, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but I think the learning curve is not too bad. Not sure whether this is breaking the flow. Something that I like to do with dynamic topology is that if I feel like the surface is kind of becoming too lumpy, I guess, then I'll increase or decrease this. I hope that's not too bad, but right now I'm kind of around 50%, and then I'll smooth it out. And the reason why I do that is intuitively, when there's less polygons like this, the surface can be smoother. I don't really know how to explain this, but I guess if I want to make a tutorial about this, then I should learn how to explain this. But so, like, you see, there are less points within the same surface area, and because of that, there's no choice but for something like this triangle here, to be flat. Oh my god, no. Whereas if, let's say, in the same surface area there are like 9 triangles, then those 9 triangles is definitely going to be like that, or it can more easily be wavy. So now this surface is nice and flat. I'm gonna go back up to a higher number and just like move things around. So now this is smoother. Also remember to zoom out a bit more just to see everything in the perspective. So one of the ideas that I have, because I painted it, let me see, because I did kind of like a test paint with blue colors. It's kind of like the look of waves. I'm kind of contemplating, like, should I do it like should I do it with the look of waves, or make it look like water running down the stream, or make it look like flower petals, I guess. Maybe both. I'm not even sure whether I like this color scheme right now. Yeah, I quite like it right now, but I feel like it's a little bit disconnected right now. I don't even know what color I want to do for the shirt. Yeah, not really sure. But so with these two things in mind, I kind of feel like maybe I go with the idea of it being more like a liquid, a water liquid kind of thing. And because of that, I'm going to push things a bit more. Because previously this was kind of like more like flower petals. But if it's going to be like a liquid water, then I can afford to kind of like push things out a bit more, then make it more flowy. But of course, how am I going to push it? Like it's still not really sure. And I guess usually for pushing things around, I tend to keep the number a bit smaller. I think that's pretty. Wait, why is this? Why are you not there? Okay, so I think that's pretty nice. But then this. So if you didn't figure out by now, I'm pretty lost. I'm just trying to make things as good as possible while messing things up. Maybe it's not really working out. I guess I like this. I think I will something I'm trying to keep a bit mindful of too is the length of the skirt. It's not really that strictly. I'm not strictly trying to make them the same length throughout, but I feel like I have to make the length. Like I guess I do have to make the length more. Just make the length more kind of like consistent. Huh? This looks nice. So this one's going like this. I think this looks pretty decent. Like it goes upward like that and bends this way. So this is gonna be quite a deep bend like that. So it's gonna like, oh, you see that's like a straight line. You stop saying like too many times. There's a straight line here, so I need to I go like this. Oh, like that. Because it has to go something like that is too thing like this. Sometimes it's a bit hard to keep track of all the different edges. I think it's looking better. I feel like it's nice to do that, but then now this one is too, and like sharpen the edge. I think sometimes a good way to kind of like a good way to make things look more clean is to just sharpen very blocky, like blobby edges. So you can see it was like this, and then I just simply push the edges like that, and now it looks a lot more refined. And that's kind of a way that I do to do things fast. But now I'm risking like this one and this one. It feels too similar. Something nice with the hover too is that when I hold the hotkey to adjust the radius of the tool, I can just hover and slide around. It's really cool. And Nomad Sculpt is really awesome. So I'm just gonna push this up higher like that. Make sure that there's no so I can push this lower, push that higher. Then that way I find the back part pretty challenging. That's why it's taking quite a bit. And I refuse to draw it out to problem solve. I just want to sculpt freehand. Right now this is like a straight line. I need to fix. Just using a small brush size and just pushing bit by bit. So I need to push this up. So I think this part is not too bad, because I'm going to go through this with the crease tool to refine the edges. Yeah, so now the problem is this one. I think that looks nice, like it tapers in like that. I think this one to make this less flat, something like that. It looks nice. Not really sure why there's a square here, but it's quite easy to just like like that. Just move things around. This one's a little bit too puffy, and the way that I'm going to fix that is to push the edge of the cloth outward, so now this area is less puffy. I guess it's just like a lot of intuitive feeling when it comes to sculpting like this. Like, what do you feel like looks nice? It's not really, there's not really any hard or fast rules when it comes to this. The only thing that I'm just looking out for is very unnatural shapes. As long as the shapes are natural looking, I'm quite happy with anything. I think that looks... Sometimes when I feel a bit lost, I'll just like do that and I'm like, oh, it looks... I'm not kidding right now. I'm just, you know, that I think that looks cool. Okay, cool. Happy accidents. Thing I'm not sure right now is that there's this piece here. I'm not sure whether it makes sense for it to stick out like that and to go there. It doesn't make sense, right? You know what? Nothing makes sense. I think that looks pretty. If it doesn't make sense, like just make it make sense. Do whatever it takes to make it look like it makes sense. So I think this one is looking a little bit too chunk. So I'm just gonna try to squeeze these things. And then later on I'm just going to use a crease tool to do that. But right now I just want to get the shape right. This looks like it broke. The funny thing about doing art, just making these kind of things, is that during the process of making thing, it's like, it's hard AF, but it's so freaking hard. But then when it's done, I'll just keep staring at it and be like, why was it that hard in the first place? I feel like that's kind of, maybe like that's kind of like the fun of live streaming, because I really forget how hard things are at the start. Which is also probably why like I keep getting depressed with myself, because I forget that I struggle so much, and then when it's done I'll be like why the hell did you struggle so much with it? But then it is a struggle. Like right now I'm struggling really hard. Like, how is this making sense right now? Why do you look like such a weird? I guess it's nice to have 2 layers. And so right now, okay, like something that would make sense is that there's this one layer like this. There's one layer like this and one layer like that. Another layer here. And it's not going to make sense, but I guess there'll be another layer here. And because of that, can I do this? Because if I want to make it 2 layers, then I think this looks nice. This looks like shit. Smooth this out. This looks nice. If I put it like this, maybe push. Does it make sense? I think another reason why I haven't been live streaming is because I feel like I always needed the perfect conditions or the perfect day to live stream. But it's like today I was kind of fed up with myself, and I was just thinking like, you know, if I'm going to struggle really hard with this while live streaming, it's really fine. So I should just live stream. And indeed, I am struggling a lot with this. So I think something that I'll do would be to separate. I can separate this maybe. I think that will make this work. So it's a little bit hard to Yeah, just screenshot this. So this is 1, this 2, this is 3. So the idea would be like, let's say if this skirt is like this, why is her torso? Okay, imagine this is her torso, and then this is her arm, and then that's the leg. Then just problem solving right now. So this is blue. It's not really exact, but that's the idea that I'm going to have. Okay, just delete this. Because it doesn't make sense for this piece to just out of nowhere connect to the middle of this one. Like I always like to do this kind of problem solving, I guess. Because it doesn't make sense. What would make sense would be if this one is a separate piece, because I like how it looks right now. So that's what I'm going to do. It may or may not work. I'm just having some stupid confidence that it's going to work. So I'm going to make this really, I'm going to make this thin. I'm now trying to tuck in this bit underneath like that, so that this looks more like an overlap. Does it even make sense to you guys? Maybe it only makes sense to me. Let me see. It's really fun to do. It's really fun to do art. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I think this would work. So I'm gonna make like a cut. So the cut is here. So maybe I'll design it such that it also cuts here. And then I'm gonna do that just roughly. I'm not sure whether it makes more sense for like this part to overlap like that instead of it overlapping like this. There's also another thing that I like to do would be kind of like think of breaking the sculpt to different areas like this. Kind of like how people draw in cubes, where I'll focus on one side and then I'll rotate to like 90 degrees. So that way I can focus on just the shape of it from a certain view, like this. So I like this too straight. So I'm starting to like this shape right here. Something like this shape right here. And because I like this shape, because I like this shape, then I can look at it from maybe here. And like, oh, it's alright, I guess. And then here. And then when I figured, I guess it's kind of like when you have those front, side, top and back view, and then you sculpt based on that reference image. So there's just something that I like to do, but more organically. It doesn't really matter like where the front, top, wherever it is. Like it could be, this can be the top for all I care. But I kind of like to work on like roughly like 90 degrees, like this. And after that, work on the in-betweens, just to see if there's like anything weird or anything straight like that. Start rotating around like this. It's like this is just weird, so remove that. Yeah, sometimes there'll be all these happy accidents and I want to keep it, so I will exaggerate it a bit more, like that, so that even if I smooth it out a bit, it will still stay there. I think I can remove this. To anyone tuning into the stream, I hope that you have a... I feel like I had... What's wrong with me? Maybe I need to drink some water. Yep, I hope that you have a good... I hope that you have a good day. Okay. So looking at this one's a bit too... This is nice, I guess. That's not bad. This and this is too straight, so I'm just gonna just push it. I like how there's this curve right here. It's too straight. Too straight, too straight. Okay. So I'll keep this. Because now the problem is... The problem is this. I think I want to try to make this like zigzag. Zigzag. think that will look quite pretty. Sometimes I feel like I want to ask what kind of tutorials people will be interested in, but I don't really have any I don't really have an audience, so I feel like I don't know who to ask. But I was thinking like the first thing that I will make a tutorial on would be on file management, because that was something that I really struggled with at the beginning. I've lost a few of my Nomad Sculpt files from stupid mistakes too. Like from really new mistakes. Okay, this one is, and I was thinking that, oh, you know, it might be good to make a tutorial that so that people don't make my stupid new mistakes. I feel like I've come a long way. Okay. Oh my god, that's so hot. Why does this really straight line? I want to create another layer here, so I'm trying to eat into the bottom of the edge just to create this overlap, this overhang, and it's really just like out of pure randomness that it came about. I think it looks pretty nice. I think something else that I've been trying to work on, or like I want to work on this year, is to just kind of like not get stuck with finding the perfect shapes, because like something like this can go 1,000 ways, and if it can go 1,000 ways, it means that I can work on it forever, because I'll be like, oh, like maybe there'll be something even better than this, and then I'll just spend way too much time on it, just trying to find what is the most ideal or the most perfect thing. But then I realized that like I shouldn't be doing that. I should just be doing one thing for a sculpt, and then if I think of something cooler, then I'll do that for another sculpt. Because like right now what is important to me is to create volume when it comes to my work. So that's always something that I need to constantly remind myself, like don't get too stuck on something. This too is looking too similar, so maybe like that, just to break them apart, because our eyes can spot really similar things instantly. So just something to be mindful about. straight lines everywhere. Okay. So I think this part is not bad. This was not bad, so I'm going to. It's not bad, but is it good? This. I keep forgetting like how it's. Okay, so this one's. I think this makes sense now. This is a straight line right now. So you just use a big brush to adjust like that. Then right now this is also too straight. So I think something like this is not bad. Like that. I think sometimes it's good to just zoom out and move things around. Even if they're not going to work out. It's probably also a bit hard to understand, but because I like to use dynamic topology based on the distance from the sculpt, like this. So when I'm adjusting things like this, I tend to stay disable dynamic topology, because if I do this like from this distance and I move things around, you can see that it turns into a lower resolution. So if I want to move things apart, then I'll need to switch off dynamic topology, and then I can move things around like that without removing the resolution. Yeah, this is really hard. I want it like this. Sometimes the difficulty comes from when I like the look of something from a certain angle, but I don't like it from another angle. And I don't really want to change it that much. I guess it's pretty hard to that's alright. Because I like this, I think I can do something like this. So this goes like that. Maybe this one's not that nice though. Maybe like that is nice. Maybe shorter is nicer. I think something like this. This is looking better. Like, it really doesn't have to make perfect sense like what's going on, but I guess I just wanted to Just wanted to make sense a bit. Nice thing about dynamic topology is that I don't need to worry about all these stretching faces like this. What was it, this one? Because I can just smooth it out like that. Like this. So it's a pretty fun way to just sculpt anything out. Or at least it's kind of the only way that I've been sculpting and have fun with sculpting. Probably if I didn't know that this existed, I probably wouldn't have gotten as far as I've gotten with sculpting because I wouldn't have fun. So yeah, it's really fun. I also tried to do some ZBrush recently because I just had to know like what softwares are out there. But I feel like dynamic, and it's kind of just trying to confirm whether or not what I'm using feels really nice to me personally. And I feel like I really like the dynamic topology for Nomad Sculpt, like the way it works or the way that's coded. Because when I tried Sculptress Pro, I feel like I did that algorithm is not really that nice, like elegant. And I'm not really sure how much of it is like, am I not used to using it? Because the way that I'm using dynamic topology for sculpting is also pretty different from how people are using STEM tools to put high resolution dragon scales onto objects. Whereas I'm using it to sculpt like I'm sculpting an actual with physical clay. But anyway, from my very inexperienced take, dynamic topology is really good. Or maybe I just don't know how to use Sculptress Pro. Yeah, I guess it's pretty unfair for someone like me who has very little experience to give like a professional. Let me see this professional take on other things. So I think I'll keep it like this. This part doesn't make sense, but it looks nice. So I'm just gonna keep it. It doesn't make sense, but looks nice is just going to be how I sculpt everything. So this is fine. This too straight. I also tend to, like, going back to the idea of what's that, like working on 90 degrees. I guess I also tend to push things quite, like I tend not to go really wild with the direction that I'm pushing. Like let's say this part is straight, I usually kind of tend to just push it like one dimensionally, because if I try to, because I want to keep the planes that's working out and not mess them up. So like let's say this is good, but I didn't like this, then I'll just push it like left or right and not like up or down. Then that way this part looks the same, I think. Yeah. It's probably a bit hard to understand if you're not pushing the clay yourself. But that's also how I keep track of things. I guess it's kind of just like, let's see. I guess it's kind of just the concept of like let's say if you import the image plane and then the side view is like this and then the front view is like whatever, it's the same logic where once you have sculpted, like push the vertices to match the reference image from one plane, then you don't really want to mess it up. And then when you rotate to another plane, then you're pushing it one dimensionally along that plane, and then when you're done, then it's this 3D object, something like that. I guess that's a good way to, yeah, I guess that's a good way to think about how to explain it for a tutorial. I should keep that in mind. I really want to make tutorials, but it's really so scary just thinking about making. I don't even know why I'm so scared. Why am I so scared for? And I feel like if I make tutorials, it would be really helpful for a lot of people just finding their way around. So I really shouldn't be so scared about it. I like this, so I'll keep it. But I think something else that I try to keep in mind is that, probably because I like to do high detail stuff, that I tend to like to cover every single space with a detail. Something like, oh, I'm going to like put details everywhere. And that's something that I did in one of my previous sculpts, but then I realized which worked really fine for that one, but but I feel like it lost quite a bit of distinct shapes on the surface. So there's something that I'm also actively working on in this current one and for future works, where I will mindfully and consciously try to keep large areas intact like this. So I think I'll keep this large area intact. This is pretty nice. So because I'm keeping large areas intact, like for one thing, it'll be, yeah, I think it'll be there'll be less work technically, because I'm not filling every single gap with something really detailed. But the other thing is also that, let me just push this out. The other thing is also that, what's the other thing? I guess that's about it. We're just being mindful about not trying to fill every single thing. So probably if I am going to sculpt this later on, I would kind of like do this. So details, 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 and then not, and then this part is just blank. Because I think that way, something like this, it will keep more visual interest in the areas where it's detailed, and then it will give. I think that was the other problem, which I felt like, yeah, like it worked for the other one. Should I just bring it up? Like, it worked pretty well, but then, yeah, I just feel like it's not meant to be for every single piece. I really like how this turned out though, but yeah, I'll just try to do something new, which is to have, I guess, have like, it's really hard to explain. I always feel like I lose the words. But yeah, just visual interest. So large areas and then smaller ones like this, and then make sure that the parts where I have golden accents are just stuck here. It makes me feel that I don't really want to have this over here, but maybe a little bit would be nice. And then I'll have large block of colors like this. Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice when it's colored. Sculpting somewhere. trying to do something different here. So I want it to go like up and down and up again. Just the last bit now. I do see how it used to be, I mean, at the start of the stream, that I didn't know what to do with this area. But now that I finished this one and I finished this side, I have a lot of rules, I guess, or I have a lot of elements to work from. And because of that, this area is a lot easier to work on now. Because I have things to bounce off, like ideas to bounce off. So this part is, and I feel like it's always this section, not section, but when it reaches 70%, that it gets really fun because things are starting to come together. Like, it's not just A and B anymore. Yeah, I'm trying to connect both of them together now. It really feels like solving a puzzle like this. So I think this looks good. Like, I like the up and down, but it's not just like this. It's not just uniform. It's going like that. So I think it looks pretty nice to me. The only thing now is figuring out what to do with this. I feel like I can work on building this section a little bit longer. I feel like it probably makes more sense for it to go around a bit more. Something like this. Then that way I'll break up this huge chunk right here very easily, and I'll think about how to fix this part later on. Something like this, and then I break this up. And the beauty about dynamic topology is that I don't really have to give a shit about how these are right now. You know, it looks good. Okay, I can't cut that. Maybe like this. Maybe like that is nice. Some random tip to be mindful of is that sometimes it doesn't look like it, but this pressing hard on this would make it stick out on a single plane. So because I'm quite used to sculpting right now, I kind of know like how much to press to like not go overboard with the length. Of course, it's very easy to just go to another angle and just like push things about. but it's just something to get used to. So you just need to be mindful not to push, not to draw too much. Just draw a little bit like that, and then it will look nice on the other side. I think that's really kind of pretty advanced, so you probably don't need to think about it. I just like to think about shit like that. Oh, this is really pretty. It's kind of funny how, like, before I start streaming, I'll feel so much trepidations on starting to stream, and then now when I'm streaming, it feels quite natural to just ramble on about all these things. It makes me feel so stupid. Like, why am I so worried about non-existent problems? I guess that's just how it is. I feel like I've gotten better at dealing with trying not to overthink about non-existent problems now. But like, if you have, probably a lot of you can relate, but when I've been doing it for so many years, like more than 20 years, it's just something that I default to. So I'm just happy that I'm aware that it's happening, and I'll be happy to spend the next, hopefully just 10 years to correct this kind of overthinking behavior. I'm not really sure what to do with this. It's not really what I like. Just like this is pretty. I think this is probably the most complex piece of cloth that I've sculpted. So I think I'm pretty happy with the progress that I've made. Wait, I need to save. Always remember to save. Okay. I think this is good. This part is still a bit stiff. See, I forgot to turn off dynamic topology and create this mess. Things not bad. This one is still a bit, because it's quite thick. I think. I find this part quite a bit difficult. I feel like I never really know what to do with this one. Maybe I'll just maybe I'll define this crease. Define this crease. Remove the straight lines. Remove the straight lines. And then what do I do here? Just like that. I think that looks nice. And then I like this second layer going in, so I'll keep this. But I think this one is messing things up. It's going to remove it. I feel like I don't really like this. I need to not get stuck with this a little bit because it's just a small part of this. I think it's long. So like sometimes when I'm stuck with a certain small area, I'll just look at different angles and be like, oh, you know, this is very easy to fix. So I fix it like that. So when now this is fixed, I feel like it's a lot easier to fix other areas. Like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, now it works. So sometimes just looking at different angles really helps. Then this one's done. And then now I'll move this like that, so that And I'm just looking at the overall shape to see if I want to change anything. Probably not. I probably want to bring this a bit higher. Like this. I think even especially for very thin threads, it's even more important to rotate, because see now how straight this looks like, so I need to push this a bit. Not sure that this is a bit weird, no. Just fixing this edge. Because like right now I feel like right now there's this huge block right here. I'm not really sure whether pushing it in would fix that. Yeah, I think that looks nice. I think last one is this section. It's a bit too round. So maybe just pushing like that. That should. Yes, because I think it's pretty good. Yes. Like some parts still doesn't make sense, but I like how this looks, so I'll keep it. We just increase the resolution, because before I go, I'll do a little bit of painting just to give a feel of what I have in mind with this. So let me show the painting again. So the coloring is just this first, and then this one. God, I hate it when I do this. I'm still not used to doing layers, so I keep forgetting to what's that called? What the hell is this one? Let's see. Oh, but I guess that's a good way to show what it looked like before and what it looks like now. Like before and after. I think it looks pretty nice. I guess this is it kind of looks like nothing much has changed. It's just really annoying to me. But I guess that's just how it is when I'm trying to create something new. You know what, maybe I'll just keep it. Going to this one is gold. I think I'm about to rename this. Let's make sure that I don't touch this. I'm just going to, yeah, because I never use the layers tab in, yeah, I don't think I've ever used it, so I'm really not used to it. Because like by right I should go back to the base to do this sculpting, then that way I'm not going to mess up like this. Because right now what I'm messing up is this one. Whatever. Okay. I think this is pretty nice. I make sure that dynamic topology is off when I'm painting. For both painting and smudging. Ding. Something I learned from looking at how other people paint is to have like quite a saturated color in between two solid colors. I mean, it's just an observation, but why am I not being? I think it helps to keep things vibrant without completely oversaturating everything. I wish that there's a blur tool for colors, but I don't think there's a blur tool. I do wonder what the bottom. Probably should push this up like that. Okay. This is something. Something like this. I'll definitely out the colors. Just gonna smudge everything. haven't done the detailing for this. Like, if I want to start adding detail, it would be something like that. But because I'm ending the stream soon, so I'm just roughly painting in to see if the concept works. So I think the concept works. This one's still really straight. Okay. But I think before putting the details on the skirt, I'll figure out what to do with this. And then clear up this mess. It's too messy. Okay, that'll be it for tonight.